Back to the phones. This is Chris in Powell, Ohio. Great to have you. How are you doing?
Hey, Rush. First, I want to say, God bless you. Thank you for your voice out there. We all need it.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Well, and the other thing is, this is another one of those "you are so right" calls. You talked about, well, first the power of the Constitution and what it does, and one of the other things you had mentioned that I looked up earlier in this week. I went to the Southern Poverty Law Center and looked up. They keep track of the the race hate groups in the country. I looked up the statistics on how many Klansmen there are left in the country, and right now they track that there are less than 8,000 members of the KKK left in the country. There's that there used to be more than 4 million of them. And we know that what destroyed them was the Constitution. What destroyed them was the First Amendment. The fact that they were allowed to speak and real Americans just walked away from them. Because we didn't make a fight. We didn't all stand throwing bottles back and forth and turn it into bloodshed and stuff like that. Americans just don't like them.
That's indisputable.
Yeah.
That's indisputable. It's a great way. The First Amendment was a factor in the Klan being disreputed and disrespected. Absolutely right.
Exactly. And this is just it. This is exactly also how it works. This is why your audience went from what it was to 26 million. It's the same way, because what you're talking about is what America is attracted to, does want to hear about, and goes to. So you can look over the last couple generations and know what it is that America really wants. And so today, when you're talking about where is the crowd of people really? Why is it that people aren't walking away from Trump based on this and walking towards Trump based on that? It's because you're right. Inside that echo chamber that those people believe, inside the Beltway and in the media, they actually believe the stories that they keep echoing. But it's not true.
They do, and that is why they're losing elections. They believe their polls, like Hillary was going to win. They believe, like they've got themselves convinced that a majority of Americans really hate Trump over Charlottesville, and the polling data from NPR, no less, disputes that. But you mentioned something here I cannot let go. You quoted the Southern Poverty Law Center, and nothing wrong with what you quoted from them is right. But let me tell you something. The Southern Poverty Law Center is a hate group rivaled only by the Democrat Party. The Southern Poverty Law, folks, if there's anything you should ignore, and there are a lot of things you should ignore, put the Southern Poverty Law Center on the list. This group has just published. They are responsible. You know how we learned that this John Brennan, the CIA director for Obama, when he saw that fake Trump dossier, that formed the basis of the investigation of collusion between Trump and Russia, and it was admittedly a fake intelligence document. The Southern Poverty Law Center is accepted as gospel by the media and by any number of other people. And you can look at one of their most recent website updates. Practically every mainstream conservative organization is listed on that website as a hate group. And the Southern Poverty Law Center has blood on its hands. They called the Family Research Council a hate group, and a guy walked into the lobby of the building where they are and started shooting because he had seen in the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center probably is this guy that shot up the Republicans at the baseball practice. I have no doubt that the Southern Poverty Law Center is on the group of websites that those wackos on the left look at every day. It's a dangerous, dangerous place. It is as partisan leftist as anything. The Klan can't hold a candle to these people. And what Chris was referring to here in the beginning of his call, I made the point early in the program that all of these so-called alt-right groups don't have enough power to change anything in this country. They don't have any real power, but The Southern Poverty Law Center does, because it's universally supported and amplified by the media. And so does Occupy Wall Street, and so does Black Lives Matter, and so does this Antifa group. They have real power. But there aren't enough alt-right people to win anybody an election. They don't have the power to do anything to anybody, and yet they're being portrayed here as the number one obstacle to a decent and just America. It is an absolute outrage. Now, I don't have time to repeat this, and even if I did, I wouldn't. But I want to ask you, folks, if you missed the first hour of the program, because what I just said will be placed in context a little bit better even than I did here. I had a monologue in the first, say, 45 minutes program. It took 45 minutes to go through the whole thing. And if you have time over the weekend or later today, go to rushlimbaugh.com. Even the free side, you'll be able to see this. But it's a heartfelt explanation of what I think is really going on with all of this. Aside from get Trump, which is at the top of the list of objectives, what they're really trying to do, and thank God they're failing, according to the latest polling data, what they're trying to do is to persuade millions of Americans that America itself is so unjust and illegitimate from the days of our founding that it isn't worth defending. It's that despicable. That's the objective here. And they are being aided and abetted by the fact that American history is so ill-taught